For 4 decades, the Iron City's ire had been building. So when the Oakland Raiders rode in for Pittsburgh's first playoff game ever, even football's most feared team had to wonder what exactly it had wandered into.
It was a war out there, and I'll never forget John Madden saying that this is like Vietnam. The police were out in force, and it was really something.
The citywide mobilization was headed by a fan club turned urban guerrilla outfit called Franco's Italian Army. Waving their banner proudly or working undercover, they had all turned out to place 40 years' worth of championship dreams on the shoulders of the rookie who was equal parts running back and cult figure, Franco Harris, the savior-to-be at the rebirth of the Steelers. While Steelers fans were creating a new mythology, the Raiders had an old credo: just win, baby. And if this situation called for warfare of a sort, they were eager to oblige in their own inimitable style. The Raiders' defense terrorized running back John Fuqua and even limited Franco to 64 harmless yards. Though Pittsburgh's offense sputtered, the Steel Curtain defense kept Pittsburgh in the game, which became a tense defensive struggle. The best Oakland quarterback Daryle Lamonica could manage was a 5-yard completion to Jim Otto, the only catch in the Hall of Fame center's 15-year career. The Steelers grappled for a 3-0 fourth-quarter lead when the Raiders sent in a backup quarterback named Ken Stabler. Stabler's insertion looked more like a sacrifice than a strategic ploy, and even the young Snake's primitive attempt at a holy roller came up empty. Pittsburgh stretched its lead to 6-0, and Oakland's neophyte passer appeared to be shrinking under the burden of having to carry his more celebrated teammates. The Steelers had only to hold the Raiders for one more series. But Oakland's coach John Madden gambled by sticking with Stabler. He looked into the Snake's eyes and rolled the dice one final time. Stabler's serpentine scramble from 30 yards out provided the unlikeliest scenario imaginable in which Pittsburgh would see its playoff dream die. But Pittsburgh still had hope in one man and time for one play.
Let's go, right? Franco's here. Come on, Franco, let's go!
The Oakland Raiders have taken a 7-6 lead in a tough football game, and this crowd is standing. 50,000 of them seeing their team go behind by 1 point. Hang on to your hats. Here come the Steelers out of the huddle. It's down to one big play. 4th down and 10 yards to go. Terry Bradshaw at the controls. And Bradshaw back and looking again. Bradshaw running out of the pocket, looking for somebody to throw to, fires it downfield. And there's a collision. That's caught out of the air. The ball is pulled in by Franco Harris. Harris is going for a touchdown for Pittsburgh.
Probably one of the greatest plays in the history of professional football. Seemed hopeless, obviously. I remember taking a snap and dropping back and going. We're just trying to get a first down. And because, I mean, we had no big play threats at the time and got pressure up the middle. Boy, I had to scramble. Guy got his hand on me and I was able to get rid of him and got to the right. Guy came up and put his hands up in my face and I moved back to the left. Another guy came at me and I just cut loose with everything I had on him. I got these bodies on me and I'm laying down on the field and I hear this huge huge roar. I'm telling you, I knew this is a roar for good things. This is not a roar for bad things. Something great has happened. The roar was unbelievable. And when I finally got up, people were coming off on the sideline. People were grabbing me and trying to pick me up. And I was, what happened? What happened? And all the way down there, I kept, what happened? What happened? I didn't know what happened until we had gone inside in the locker room. It was just unbelievable.
From Franco's point of view, what had happened was simply his dream come true.
When I reached the Steelers, I had this drive in me that I wanted us to be number one. And in that playoff game, it went down to the wire, and I just told myself, Franco, just play it all the way through.
Franco Harris pulling the football. I don't even know where it came from.
To Pittsburgh, he had swooped down from the heavens on the wings of angels. Oakland, however, had a more down-to-earth explanation.
Terry Bradshaw took the snap. He drops back. I look at him. I look at Franco. Franco's doing nothing. He missed his block. Bradshaw scrambles out that way. Franco comes jogging down the field. Half speed. He's my man. I'm jogging half speed with him. I saw Bradshaw throw the ball. I shot over to help make the tackle. Meanwhile, Franco, who had just drifted over there, it goes right to him. Had I been as lazy as Franco, that ball would have come to me at waist high. Now I spin around, I still can make the play. McMakin, who no one ever would remember, their tight end, smart player, dives right in the back of my legs. What's he got to lose? They're gonna lose the game anyway. The biggest clip ever. No clip called. I remember laying on the ground watching Franco run down the sideline, just could not believe it happened.
I believe I stayed Jack Daniels for about for about 2 days after that. I mean, I just had never felt worse coming off a football game in my entire life. It was like it was right there and then just snatched away like that. And I remember Franco running down the sideline, and I looked, and I started looking around for the flags, and no flags, and cheering, people jumping up all over, and then it just kind of struck me that, my God, we've lost. There is no time.
The thing about that play that bothered me then, bothers me today, and will bother me until the day I die, is that in the history of football, when a guy crosses a goal line, it's either a touchdown or it's not. They didn't call it a touchdown. They didn't know if it was a touchdown. The referee leaves that huddle, which was in the end zone, and he goes over to the dugout on the Pittsburgh Steelers side, and he gets on the phone.
And there's a lot of stories about who he called and what happened. But Marv Hubbard said that he overheard him, and what he actually did, he called the police. And he said, I'm the chief official in this ball game, and how many cops do you have to escort me off the field if I tell you what happened, which was that the ball hit Pittsburgh and there's no touchdown? The guy said, all I can give you is 6 police. He says, 6? Is that all? He says, that's all you get. He says, in that case, 6 for Pittsburgh.
The controversy still rages. Did the ball carom to Franco off Oakland's number 31 Jack Tatum, or directly off number 33 John Fuqua? A double tap that would have been illegal at the time.
The only thing I know is I wasn't going to let him catch the ball, and I gave him a real big hit in the back, and I thought the game was over. We were slapping hands and everything, celebrating, and we looked around, saw Franco running down the field, and we just couldn't figure out what was happening, until we saw it later on the films, and to this day, I still haven't been able to tell who the ball bounced off of.
I thought we got taken. The word is stronger than that by everyone, and we should have had that football game, but we didn't get it. But to his credit, Mr. Rooney got it. He was in an elevator. He didn't even see the play. He was going down in the locker room. He told me later to congratulate this guy for having a great season. He thought they lost, which they should have. But there was nothing we were going to do to prevent it. And it's one of the great moments in National Football League history. It was a mistake, but it was one of those things. It was I guess it was an honest mistake, and Fuqua knows he hit it, and it should have been our game.
The Raiders' wounds from that day still sting. But the real victim of the immaculate reception was the Steelers' Frenchie Fuqua. After an abysmal 16-carry, 25-yard day, he was hoping for redemption on the game's final play.
Bradshaw comes back to the sideline, and from the moment he leaves the sideline, he's looking directly at me. And I said, oh, no. And I go back to an old cliche that my college coach used to tell me, people remember the last thing you did. I said, hey, I'm going to be a hero after today, or I'm going to be a bum until next year. And he comes back, and sure enough, he calls 66 halfback option. It was my opportunity to be a hero, you know, just to be lifted up on everyone's shoulder. I am looking into his blue eyes the whole time. I know he's going to throw it for me. He ducks, he comes up, he throws the ball. Well, I'll turn to the sideline and pow.
And there's a collision. And it's caught out of the air by Franco Harris.
He runs down the sideline with my hundreds of thousands of dollars that I would have made if I'd have caught that ball and scored. And I'm saying to myself, God, I done blew it.
And so did one man fade into oblivion, as the greatest moment in NFL history brought another man into the hero's spotlight forever.
From out of nowhere came Franco Harris, riding a white stallion down the field, heading up Franco's Italian army, charging under the football and galloping off into the sunset.